Hey everyone, how's it going? Just getting used to working at home for what will be 10th day in a row to avoid catching the virus. Hopefully, you guys are quarantining yourselves in some way, shape, or form as well. But while you're trying to figure out how this is impacting your business, I just want to upload a quick video about force majeure clauses and how that might impact your contracts. What I mean by force majeure, it's an often uh, this is a clause in a contract that'll apply typically to floods or earthquakes or non-natural occurring events that could disrupt the performance of your contract that would excuse the performance of the contract, meaning that because this happened, it's not my fault, be it an earthquake, flood, or in this case a virus. I don't have to, for example, deliver the 1,000 parts that you ordered and may have already partially paid for, or that in entertainment context, there's a lot of productions being shut down, and a clause in these contracts would dictate who would be excused from performance obligations in the event of a force majeure event. And I would be surprised to find anyone to say that COVID-19 is not a force majeure event, meaning that, this is non natural occurring, non man made, not caused by any party to the contract event that should get contract parties off the hook, essentially, for their contract obligations. That doesn't mean that costs aren't still going to be borne by the virus, and certainly there's going to be extensive damages and extensive costs that certain parties will have to bear. But you want to look specifically at these force majeure clauses to determine who's bearing those costs. And if there isn't a clause like that, what your responsibilities are in continued performance in your contracts when essentially performance of those contracts is either made impossible, impractical, or timely performance becomes impossible or impractical due to everything that's going on here, both in the US and globally. But this is a time when it'd be inexpensive solution to have an attorney look through your contracts and advise you on what exactly your rights are and what your expectations are in light of everything that's going on. Another solution is simply to go to the other side of the table and try to come up with some modification to your agreements to figure out, well, we're stuck in this position, how do we go forward? And that's what I'm encouraging my clients to do, is to come back to the table and say, in light of the crisis here, how can we modify our existing agreements to take the next best steps forward, both now and in the future when the dust settles. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you want more details about how the virus is going to impact you, I will be uploading a video in the future about how this affects both employer and employee, and what the ongoing obligations should be, and what policies are being introduced, if any, to help alleviate the burdens on employers and employees in light of the crisis, and things you shouldn't be doing in this global context, as far as benefits that you may or may not offer to your employees, given that they can't show up to work. That'll be the next video, but for now, just look over your agreements and pay particular attention to the force majeure clauses, and it should at least give you some idea of how to deal with all this. But the important thing is to stay safe.